The die and dice classes. The die and dice classes are for simulating rolling a dice using a program. For this, we have the class die, and in that we define the init method. So we have self and the number of sides for the die. We write self.sides is equal to sides. Now we will define a method for rolling the dice. So we have roll, and now self.value is equal to, now for the value of the dice we have to import the random package. So import random, and now you will write random dot rand int. So it will generate a random integer, and within the brackets we have to give the start and stop range for the random integer. So it will be 1 and the number of sides, 1 to the number of sides. Now we return the value, so return self.value. And so this is how we have created the package for dice. Now we can implement this into another code by importing it into that code. So for that we open the new code, and I write import die. Then we have saved the previous file as die.py, so small with a small d. And now when we import it, we have to write the file name minus the .py extension. And now I've written p1 is equal to die, the name of the package, dot the class name. The class name is with a capital D. And then we have written n in the brackets, and n is the number of sides that the user will input. Same we have done for P2. So I've written here for 2 players. You can you can ask the user also how many players are there, etc. So we have 2 values now for the 2 players. So v1 is equal to p1.roll and v2 is equal to p2.roll. And now I print how much each player got, how much value the player got. And now when we run this code, it will tell us to enter the number of sides is 6, and we got the values 4 and 1. Now let's make a if statement that if v1 is greater than v2, we write player 1 1. If v1 is less than v2, then player 2 1. Else it's a tie. Now when you run this code, you get 6 and 5 and 4, and it says player 1 1. Similarly, I'll create the class dice. The only addition to it is it has an extra attribute, that is the die. So it will see how many number of dice are there. Dice is more than 1 dice. So we will roll that many dice. So all this is the same as the previous class. We'll now write the while statement. So while self.die is greater than 0, and we'll keep rolling the dice, and we'll append this value to a list. So self.ls. For that, first I'll define that it is a empty list. Now I'll keep appending r, and I will decrement self.die by 1 on each iteration. And now I'll create a function, I'll create a method to return the values. So for I in self.ls, I just want it as a separate values. So I'm just going to join all the list elements in one string separated by space. And now instead of die, I have dice, die.dice, and then I write an extra input d is equal to enter the number of die, and while calling the while calling the function, we go n comma d. Before running this code, we'll just change roll to return values method, and now I'll run the code. It says 6 and 2, and player 1 got 3 1 3 6. Now if I run it again, you'll see that there are different values. Therefore you have got a very random dice class which gives random values on rolling the dice.